What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. And you can never force nobody else to wear them.
I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out, and I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. We're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. I'm going to leave that volume up because I'm going to need it momentarily. I hate it when I have stories like this first one to cover, because it's personal. While I haven't had these events take place with my own children's lives, not being a part of their lives, and part of the reason why I am not a part of their lives is attached to this. I don't even have the words to put on it. I have no idea why society accepts the notion that men shouldn't have their kids. Now, I don't know the motive behind this woman's mental episode, but this is one of the actual rare cases that dad is even mentioned. Very rare that dad's mentioned. Many years ago, it's been a long time ago, I covered a story that wound up coming right here to our local town, or our town, and it was of a woman that tried to kill her, it was on again, off again, ex, and her children. She killed him. And if I'm not mistaken, I think she shot him. And then she burned the house down with him and the kids in it. But the kids got out. All but one. There was one kid that wasn't left in the house, and it was an infant. And she put that kid in the vehicle with her and drove away from town not far from here, Glen Carbon, Illinois, and drove her vehicle with the infant in his car seat, his or her, I couldn't tell you for positive, and proceeded to drive her vehicle into the lake just at the edge of our town here. Fortunately, I believe it was a member of our local volunteer firemen, or fire department, that seen the car go into the lake, immediately acted and praised the Father. Praised the Father. He was able to get to the child, get the child unbuckled, and save the infant's life. The mother, on the other hand, did not survive. And the most frustrating thing about that entire story was how much the media played up Mom. Now, I'm sorry, but regardless of what your gender is or who you are, trying to end children's life is a pretty soulless thing to do. That's one of the things I feared for my children if I tried to seek them out, is that either she would do one of two things. And I'm sure she'd do one of two things. I think if it came too close to me being able to be in their lives, she may go that far. They won't listen. It doesn't matter how many times or how many examples. It doesn't matter what video evidence you have, audio evidence you have of how psycho they are. They won't listen. Man's evil. Woman's, I don't know. But that's all they did was play her up, and you know, the media played into, we should all feel sorry for her. So now I sit here with a story in front of me. Not as close as the last one that I just mentioned. Oh, the other thing, in all fairness, I need to say the other thing. The other thing my ex would do would just be take off, leave the state. Somehow she would be damn sure to make sure that I could not have contact with them. And there's nothing that I can do, because I don't have tens of thousands of dollars to hand somebody just to hope that I might be able to see them every other weekend and every other holiday. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. So, this is the article. And it says here, Ferguson house fire that killed mom, 4 kids, was murder-suicide, police say. So let's read the story. A Ferguson house fire that killed a family of 5 earlier this week was a murder-suicide, according to St. Louis County Police. The fire happened early Monday morning at a home on the 500 block of North Clay Avenue. Bernadine, or Birdie, and I don't know if it's Prusner, 39, was found dead after the fire, along with her 4 children, 2-year-old Millie, 6-year-old Jackson, and 9-year-old twin girls Ellie and Ivy. The St. Louis County Police Department said Wednesday afternoon that a preliminary investigation revealed Prusner intentionally set a mattress on fire. Police found a note stating her intention to take her and her children's lives. Jared Spader, the father of Jackson and Millie, released this statement to the public Wednesday afternoon. What I would want everyone to know about my 2 wonderful... Now, note that he said 2. So, only 2 of them were his. What I would want everyone to know about my 2 wonderful children is they are the greatest gift that a father could ever ask for. Jackson was the most incredible older brother, kind, intuitive, and gentle. He loved his sisters, being outside, sports, art, and he was always so in tune with the needs of others. Millie was a funny, charismatic, sweet, and kind little sister who brightened every moment of every day for all of us. They were the 2 most beautiful souls that a father could ask for, and they were a gift to our lives in every way. As dads right now, we have to focus on honoring the 4 beautiful lives, and we plan to do that together. Our thanks goes out to the community, people we know, and many we have never even met, who have shown us incredible amounts of support. We will continue to need it. And it goes on, police urged anyone struggling with depression or thoughts of harming themselves or others to call or text 988 or reach the 24/7 suicide crisis lifeline. And yeah, I'm not going to denounce that, absolutely. Why? So, Mr. Spader was father to 2 of the children. Okay? That's going to be the 2 older ones. The 2 younger ones was apparently by another man that is unnamed, untalked about, unmentioned. Where's Dad? This is getting ridiculous. And it's not going to get any better. This issue is not limited to certain states. This issue is not limited to this nation. This is a global issue. friends with a black dude in London. Been friends with him for a long time. Been flying with him in flight sim since like 2008. Same situation pretty much. He's got kids that he hasn't seen in a long time. Nothing he can do. That's London. We're talking about a guy that does have the money to pay the attorneys. He's what you would call a professional in his line of work and makes damn good money. My background's definitely not squeaky clean. His is. Military background. Did really well in that. Good man. You should see the hell that he's had to go through. So that's one of his kids, right? Hadn't seen that kid in forever. So then he was with another woman, and they had a child. And I think he gets to see her. I think. But you know how hard it is to have a firearm over in London? Pretty damn hard. But because of his upstanding, whatever you want to call it, lifestyle, his character, he's able to have a firearm. And I know of more than one time that she had made a phone call or whatever she had to do, and sure enough, knock, 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 and they confiscated his firearm. I know of at least twice that that's happened. At least twice. There's no excuse for it. I agree with Mr. Spader that right now folks need to focus on the honoring. But we need to have a discussion really soon. Because this destruction of the bond between fathers and their children and the catastrophic effects that it can lead to needs to stop. Now, I told you about how when that other incident happened, started in Glen Carbon, came here, that the media sat there and they played her up and played her up and played her up. Well, I bring to you the people that knew this outstanding woman that took it upon herself not just to end her life, but to end the life of 4 children in her selfish endeavor.
The Ferguson community is remembering a mother and her 4 children who died in a house fire this week. Loved ones and city leaders are coming forward to speak about the tragedy. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson, and Allred is off tonight.
And I'm Mike Bush. Today, our Justina Coronel spoke to the Ferguson mayor and a family friend. And she joins us now live from the home on Clay Avenue. Justina.
Mike and Kelly, several people I spoke to say that they are just devastated by this news. They say the mom, Birdie, was a light in the community.
The city is just heartbroken, especially her neighbors.
Stuffed bears and crime scene tape sit in front of this Ferguson home. It's a stark reminder of what's been lost.
Ferguson, we come together when there are crises.
A crisis that took 5 lives. Bernadine Birdie Prusiner and her 4 children, 2-year-old Millie, 6-year-old Jackson, and 9-year-old twin girls Ellie and Ivy died in a fire Monday morning. While police have not yet released a cause, they say it appears suspicious.
She literally poured her heart and soul into everything.
Prusner was a Lewis and Clark University assistant professor and coordinated the child development and education programs. They said she brought an energy and illuminated such a bright light of positivity.
She was well.
Did you catch that by chance? Let's just wind that up and let's hear what it is that she was responsible for doing.
Prusner was a Lewis and Clark University assistant professor and coordinated the child development and education programs. They said she brought an
child development. I know 4 children that will no longer develop.
Energy and illuminated such a bright light of positivity.
She was well known with her work and love for animals.
Trish Seifred felt this positivity herself. She worked with Prusner, hiring her animals for commercial work.
Everything that she did was just really remarkable. There was nothing that she couldn't do, and really just a shining example of how to be, how to live the ultimate life.
Beyond being an animal lover, 5 on Your Side learned Prusner was an actress, author, and urban farmer.
Not just Birdie, but her 4 wonderful children as well. And they were every bit as gifted as she was.
It's a gift she'll hold dear, knowing it's a gift they brought to this world.
She was a gift to be around, and she definitely will be a lot missed.
We did ask police more questions today, to asking them why they believe this case seems to be suspicious. They said they hope to share more information tomorrow with the cause of the fire. Reporting live, Justina Cornell, 5 on Your Side.
Kind of crazy. What are we supposed to do? Because clearly there was a whole lot of individuals that had very high thoughts for this person. Which tells me something. The evil bitch that she was well hidden. I'm just going to say it. Why am I just going to say it? Why am I such an asshole? Well, let me say this. I know what it means to have somebody act like they're just the perfect little angels, could do no wrong, and make your life an entire hell. I know all about that. But everybody else, oh, she's an angel. I was a demon. Now, I wasn't right with everything I did, but I never did treat her in any kind of a hateful manner. That isn't me. That's not... You want to know what pisses women off the most at me? Because I refuse to argue with them. I'm not going to do it. It makes no logical sense to stand there and scream at one another. It makes no damn sense, and I'm not going to do it. I have to be a willing participant in that. And let me tell you what, there is not anything that I found that pisses a woman off more than if they can't use you for a punching bag. It's not just been one time with one woman. This shit has to come to an end. I have had it. Because it happens time and time and time again. Now, I have no problem admitting that I must pick some damn winners. But I'll be willing to bet that all it would do or take would be talk to a few other men And you'd probably run into some others that just seem to keep picking those quote-unquote winners. Why? Look at society. Look at entertainment. Look at what they've done to destroy the man and the nuclear family. None of this is by accident. Once again, just like in the videos I put out earlier, it's going to take people to want to do the right thing. It's going to take men to grow some nuts and speak up and speak out. I have never seen a more taboo topic in my lifetime. And I won't be silent. I'll be damned if I'm silent. I am not one of these skinny jean wearing little weaklings. And I'll be damned if I'm pushed into that box. It's time we put an end to the war on men. Or like I like to call it, menocide. It's time it comes to an end. It's just unreal. It's just unreal. And we got an article here. I'll go right into the articles. I got 5 more articles up, and we'll do headlines. And I didn't even realize that article until early evening. I had saw the headlines about there being a house fire in Ferguson. For folks that don't remember, Ferguson is where the whole Michael Brown thing happened. That's Ferguson. Okay. And then Ferguson's not real far from where we are. I mean, it's on the other side of the river, but nonetheless. Huh. All right, let's just do some articles. Britons compare parenthood to financial suicide. Well, I could see on multiple fronts why that is. Number one, just the cost of living right now. This mentions unaffordable child care costs. We have the same problem in this nation. It says here, 1 in 3 mothers were unable to return to work full-time due to child care costs. While around 70% of mothers admitted that after paying for child care it doesn't make financial sense for them to work. The survey also revealed that more than half of mothers, 52.5%, who have had an abortion cited the cost of child care as a primary reason for terminating their pregnancy. We've not only got a cost of living crisis, we've got a cost of working crisis that disproportionately impacts mothers, said Jolie Brearley, the CEO and founder of Pregnant Then Screwed. Now, I bet you're probably going to find a perpetual victim there with Jolie. Just saying. I can tell you that there's another reason. And that's because men understand that it's financial suicide. Because it doesn't matter the reason. It doesn't matter the reason for the separation. You're screwed. I bet the article doesn't say nothing about that side of it, though. Sure doesn't. In fact, really doesn't specifically mention the men at all. Imagine that. Imagine that. Hey, Britons can fuck up the family unit just as bad as the United States. They can fuck up a submarine as well. British nuclear submarine test fails. UK Ministry of Defence has said an anomaly occurred during the test firing of a Trident missile from a British nuclear submarine off the coast of the U.S. state of Florida last month, raising concerns about the effectiveness of London's nuclear deterrent. The UK government confirmed on Wednesday that the drill, which reports say was observed by Defence Secretary Grant Shapps, had failed, but insisted that the error was event-specific, suggesting it would have been successful had it been carrying an actual nuclear warhead. The statement said no further details would be provided for reasons of national security. UK tabloid The Sun, which first reported the story, said on Tuesday that the missile, which was fitted with fake warheads, splashed back into the ocean after its launch from HMS Vanguard. The state-of-the-art nuclear submarine was not damaged when the 58-ton missile re-entered the Atlantic Ocean. Oh, by the way, you're going to need to go to paper straws because, well, I don't know. But you got to use paper straws, and they need to shoot some more damn missiles into the water. The last Trident test in 2016 also failed when the missile veered off course, the BBC said, adding that each weapon comes at an estimated cost of £17 million. Following reports of January's failure, Labour's Shadow Defence Secretary John Healey wrote on social media on Tuesday that the event was concerning and called on the UK military leadership to reassure Parliament that this test has no impact on the effectiveness of the UK's deterrent option. Well, I got some bad news for you. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And then you get people like Barron Dependent and his egotistical nonsense this morning, making everybody think, oh, you know, all these other nations, they can't, they're all lying about their capabilities, whatever. Right. Some people need their damn jaw broken. Then maybe they would think a little bit more about what they say. You know. Russia tears up Soviet area. I can't speak. I'm not a happy camper. Russia tears up Soviet-era fishing agreement with the UK. British fishermen will be banned from operating in the Barents Sea, one of the world's largest fisheries for cod and haddock, under new legislation passed by the lower house of Russia's parliament, the State Duma, on Wednesday. The bill, which rescinds an agreement signed between the governments in the USSR, the UK, and Northern Ireland in 1956, was passed in its third reading. The so-called fisheries agreement had allowed British ships to fish in the Barents Sea off the north coast of the Kola Peninsula. It was initially signed for a period of 5 years and automatically renewed every 5 years since neither party ever withdrew from the agreement. The agreement was unfortunately one-sided, giving the authority and right to fish only to our partners at the time, Deputy Agriculture Minister Maxim Uvaidov said. Clarifying the details of the treaty, he added that the agreement didn't provide Soviet fishermen with similar rights. Taking into account the UK's decision to strip Russia of the most favored nation status in 2022, which led to a 35% tariff hike on Russian goods, Moscow says that ending the Soviet-era agreement will not cause serious foreign policy or economic consequences for the country. Commenting on the legislation, Duma Chairman Vyacheslav Volodin said that by tearing up the agreement, Russia was returning to its own possession the fish that are the the fish that the UK had been consuming for decades. He, meaning President Vladimir Putin, returned our fish to us because the English, shameless, had been eating it for 68 years. They have imposed sanctions on us while they themselves make up 40% of their diet, their fish menu, from our cod. Let them now lose some weight, Vulladin said. Now you want to talk about a quote-unquote trucker boycott to make people starve. I mean, that's doing something. Having a small handful of people not driving into New York is pissing in the wind on a windy dam. A Sky News report from last year claimed that up to 40% of the cod and haddock consumed in the UK comes from Russia. Howdy, average man's prepping and survival. How you doing, man? So yeah, this is not good for the UK. So then, we got the derp in chief here. He's in the news again. Biden struggles to board Air Force One. So now, we're just having issues getting into the plane. U.S. President Joe Biden tripped twice on Tuesday as he boarded Air Force One for a flight to California. Although the White House has insisted that he is in excellent health, the 81-year-old Democrat has persistently refused to take a cognitive test during his annual health exam. I don't know why. I don't know why. Cameras at Andrews Air Force Base in Maryland captured Biden stumbling while going up the steps to the presidential jet, barely avoiding a fall. The latest incident comes as the president faces public demands to have his mental acuity checked. Biden should come out and debate and to show the American public that he has the cognitive capacity to do this very, very difficult job, his former challenger for the Democratic nomination, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., now an independent candidate, has said last week. Meanwhile, 84 House Republicans wrote an open letter demanding the commander-in-chief submit to a cognitive test or face being replaced under the 25th Amendment. See, this stuff is ridiculous to me. This should be a no-brainer, right? And there's issues with this kind of stuff from the top to the bottom. Let me bring you local here. I'll tell you what's going on local here. So, there was a trash company that our town was contracted with. And the guy, I don't know all the details, but apparently the guy decided to go out of business and sold his trash company to another trash company. So, I don't know all of the details to it whatsoever, but we wound up now with this other trash company taking over. And pretty much everything that was the way it was is getting turned upside down. Like, for instance, we are no longer going to be using our own cans because they're going to be providing cans. And it's one of those deals to where all they have to do is drive the truck around. And nobody even, as far as I know, nobody has to get out or anything. The truck just picks up the cans, dumps it in. So, they're eliminating jobs, raising rates, and the people apparently has zero say in any of it. So, the only thing I can tell the folks here, because there's been a number of things here that the people didn't want, but they got anyway. Everything from, to my knowledge, and I didn't see the boat, but from what I heard, we had a pavilion uptown. We're a Swiss-German town, and it was, in my opinion, a gorgeous pavilion. And it needed rehabbed. It was old. It was well used. And instead of rebuilding, rehabbing that old pavilion, which was rather large and gorgeous, they put this ugly frickin' thing there now. And I think now it's the bandstand or some bullshit like that, but it ain't nothing like the old pavilion was. From my understanding, that's not what the people wanted. Then our town got roundabouts. You know, that was back, it started back with the Obama shovel-ready job bullshit. Yep. Didn't want that either. But they got it. We've had our police dispatch. It's gone. It's gone to the county. So if a person here in our town wants or needs to call the police for an emergency or fire or what have you, they gotta call a town 20 minutes away and talk to people that aren't from here and don't know here like a local person would, so that they can radio a police officer here. We still have a police force. We just don't have a police dispatch now. Now, mind you, the citizens of the city had just paid for a new police department to be put in. Dispatch and all. Dispatch in which they are now not using. And then, and I don't know if this is really became common knowledge yet. I know that when I first heard about it, it wasn't common knowledge, and from my understanding, they kind of really didn't want people to know about it. But from my understanding, we're going to lose our ambulance service. No, that doesn't mean that we're not going to have an ambulance here. It means that I guess some private company is going to be taking, and I'm guessing that that's what it is. A private company is going to be taking over the ambulance service instead of it being a part of our volunteer fire department. And I'm pretty sure that nobody got a chance to vote or really have much to say about any of it. I thought the people were the ones that called the shots. I don't know, folks. I do know this. We have to quit playing their game. As long as we play their game, they're going to take and take and take. It ain't about time we start taking some back. That's going to take sacrifice. And so for all the people that talk big on the interwebs, let me know when you're willing to sacrifice. I'm ready. I ain't got much left to sacrifice. I'm ready. Because until then, it's just being keyboard commandos. Microphone badasses. And I ain't got time for that. I could be doing a whole lot of more stuff than that. Actual achieving things and trying to impress other people. Anyway, I've got one more article before I get to the headlines. Scientists call for ditching sexist dinosaur names. So, just so you know. And then, after we get rid of all the sexist dinosaur names, we're going to go after the racist dinosaur names. Because there's certainly got to be some racist ones there, too. And then we're going to tell the world about the trans dinosaurs that were like 7 genders. Right? German paleobiologists have called for an overhaul of the system used in naming dinosaurs, arguing that the current nomenclature contains nearly 100 potentially offensive names. Nature magazine reported on Tuesday, citing the team's still unpublished paper. A group of researchers analyzed the names of every dinosaur fossil from the Mesozoic era, defined as between 251.9 million and 66 million years ago, combing through 1,500 species for names they perceived as emanating racism, oh shit, they already covered it, sexism, or named after neo-colonial contexts or after controversial figures. Oh yeah, have you seen the Hitler Rex? I mean, holy cow, right? The Tristalintops, I mean, the Popodilopithecus, I don't know. The Genghis Khan raptor, I don't know. So let's see if they tell us some of these names here. They found 89 problematic species according to Nature, amounting to less than 3% of the names analyzed. A dinosaur species might be deemed problematic simply because its name was based on the colonial name for the area where the fossil was discovered. How dare they? The researchers explained, lamenting that indigenous language names of places or researchers are often not used or are mistranslated. That's why I believe in sign language, and I just give them a big middle finger. Everybody understands it across the world. The problem in terms of numbers is really insignificant, but it is significant in terms of importance, insisted paleontologist Evangelos Velachos, two-time male, once removed female, of the Museum of Paleontology at Jiddo, and I can't even say these names. Those names are racist because I can't say them. Yeah, take that. Anyway, Kat co-authored the paper with the German team by Emma Dune of Friedrich Alexander University. We aren't saying that tomorrow we need to change everything. Oh, but you are. But we need to critically revise what we have done. All the humanity. Triceratops. I mean, this is ridiculous. You know what we need to do? Have you ever seen the movie Airplane? Right? And you got the chick, she's sitting there in the seat and she's flipping out. And everybody, and we're talking the priest, we're talking basketball players, we're talking everybody are in line ready to slap the shit out of her, right? To knock her out of it, because that's what you used to do to hysterical people. Form that line. I know. Surely you can't be serious. Don't call me Shirley. Best movie ever made, by the way. Airplane the movie. The best movie ever. Should be like shown at Times Square every day. It'd be funny. Of course, you couldn't do that, though. Too many sensitive people. Oh, man. I reckon we can do some headlines and I can go running out of here. It was nice. I had the windows open today. It was got like somewhere around 73 today. Yeah, 73. February 21st. And then Mother Nature's totally drunk. Give it to me. No, give it to me. Why will you not just give me the... I don't want to listen to you. I just want the picture. Homie. Open link in new window. Yeah, it's not giving it to me. You people are freaks. Shut up. Okay, well, hang on. I'll get it. I will get it. There. So, today it made it to like 73. I guess tomorrow it's supposed to be 62, then 57 on Friday, 51 on Saturday, 70 on Sunday, 74 on Monday, 78 on Tuesday, and then 62 on Wednesday. I mean, this is insane. Absolutely insane. But I'll take it. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. However, like I have said for a long time now, please, if you don't listen to any other warning that I ever give than this, please listen about pole shift. It is going to continue to get worse each and every year. It's not because the cows are farting. It's not because the Aquanet that your grandma used. I'm kidding. Back in the 80s. It's because of pole shift. We didn't cause it. We can't stop it. And if you want a brief synopsis of what happens during pole shift, I don't know, pick up the Bible, read Revelation. I don't know. Read about Noah's Ark. Read about what happened immediately after that Yeshua, Jesus, was crucified. You read those three events in the Bible, and you'll know what a pole shift is. All right. Britons compare parent... Oh, I covered that. Yeah, Kevin, same here, brother. And I in fact, I just said that not long ago. It's the most mild February in my entire life. Yep. Let's see. U.S. tech titans valued at more than most countries' entire stock market, says Deutsche Bank. Boris Johnson wanted $1 million for an interview with Tucker Carlson. West is only making things worse for Ukraine, says Russian ambassador. Children of draft dodgers may be barred from Ukrainian universities, says MP. Russia captured up to... And by the way, are they serious with that? Because they've probably killed so much of, 18 and 18 to 32-year-olds or whatever. Probably pretty well all wiped out. Anyway, Russia captured up to 1,000 Ukrainian POWs in Advidka. And I can't say how... I have no idea how that's pronounced. Russia to triple LNG exports by 2030, says Deputy PM. No, it's not global warming, it's pole shift. So suspicious observers is the one to watch about what's going on. He is the most on target that I know of anybody on that particular subject. Let's see. Zelensky criticizes protesting Polish farmers. Russia reacts to U.S. vetoing Gaza ceasefire. U.S. spies used New York Times and Putin interview sabotage attempt, says Carlson. U.S. believes Russia could deploy nukes in space this year, says Bloomberg. More fear-mongering. We need that money. U.S. parenting influence... Oh, I covered that story earlier today. West Ukraine unwilling to settle conflict, says Lavrov. Yep, and that it is. The Earth's wobble is the most it's ever been in our civilization's lifetime. Absolutely. Let's see. EU agrees to new round of Russia sanctions. Lavrov comments on Russian favorite in race for White House. Ukrainians in EU aren't coming back, says Kiev. Putin inspects nuclear-capable bombers, while we can't launch a missile and be successful. France seizes 120 million euros, a Euro Russian-owned village. EU states leader sees older Russian speakers as potential threat. Let's see. Russia is a war machine, says Trump. Ukraine conflict cost Germany over 200 billion euros, says an expert. Russia tears up Wait, did I cover that story? Yeah, I did. Covered the story about the fishing contract or agreement. Iran sends Russia hundreds of ballistic missiles. That's the claim. French food giant plans to sell Russian business, says Financial Times. Polish cops charge farmer over Putin appeal. Scientists call for ditching. Oh, I covered that. Gift from Russia to the world. Putin opens Games of the Future. Hunger Games, anybody? G20 not about geopolitics, says China. Let's see. Ukraine can't maintain advanced U.S. supplied weapons, says the Pentagon. 9 out of 10 Europeans think Ukraine will lose, says a poll. That says a lot for Europe, to tell you the truth. They've got some common sense, much more so than people in the United States. No, I don't know. I'm joking when I say that. I am curious, though, if the United States has a poll, how many would feel that Ukraine's going to lose and how many would feel they're going to win. I can say you could probably split the answer right down a political line. Murdered Russian trader pilot likely had secret refugee status in Spain, says El Mundo. Innovation in AI must remain human-centered, UN expert tells RT. Yakuza boss tried to sell nuclear materials to Iran, says U.S. DOJ. Biden told his campaign staffers to focus on crazy Trump statements. And lastly, Israel behind Iranian pipeline blast, says Tehran. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Oh, man. What trailer are you talking about, Steve? Oh. I'm not sure which link. Anywho, I am gonna jet out of here. I am tired. What I covered at the beginning of the show, it takes a lot out of me. There is nothing worse than stealing a man's children from him and telling him you can't do anything about it. At some point, I hope other men will grow balls and join me in putting a stop to it. Because if we would stick together, and if every man that got screwed over by the family court system would just gather at the same day, or on the same day at the same time, in their county courthouse, their local courthouse, there would be so many men there that nobody could even get into the court to have court. But each and every man, it would seem, wants to hang separately. And any men that speak out about it are either ignored or condemned. The biggest single thing destroying this country is the destruction of the family unit. Made even worse by targeting dad and removing him from the lives of the children. We need to start asking why that's not a conversation that we can have. Anyway, God willing, I'll be back tomorrow. Hope you all have a good night. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.